So you're thinking of going vegan, but your mind can't contemplate on what's fact versus myth. No worries, my friend, I got you. Because I'm about to debunk 10 popular myths that vegans are commonly associated with. Now, I recently did some digging and I found 10 common myths about veganism. And I felt compelled to do a video about it because one, I actually got a good laugh out of some of them, and B, I think it's time we shed light on the actual truth. Now, before we get started, I do want to mention that this video is for educational purposes only. Any health advice that's mentioned is literally just that, advice. So utilize what I say as a guide. So take the information that you hear from this video, do your own research, and then discuss it with your healthcare provider about any changes that you want to implement into your own life. I also want to mention that everyone is different. Veganism is not for everyone. So whether you plan on becoming vegan or you just want to be less offensive to your vegan friends, then this video is just right for you. So without further ado, let's get started. Right. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so in no particular order, I'm going to read a list of 10 statements. They're going to include both a myth behind that statement, and then I'm going to follow it up with a fact that's going to debunk that myth. Okay, so number 1. Vegans don't get enough protein. The myth behind that is you need animal products to meet your protein needs. Okay, I have heard this one before. The fact of that is that there are many plant-based foods that are rich in protein, such as beans, lentils, tempeh, seitan, quinoa, even vegetables. So basically, a well-planned vegan diet can meet all protein needs. All right, number 2. Vegan diets are expensive. So the myth about that one is that vegan food is costly and only affordable for the wealthy. Okay. The fact is that staples like beans, rice, oats, fruits, and vegetables are usually on the cheaper side, and they're cheaper than meat. While the specialty products like the vegan cheeses and all that, those can be on the pricey side. But in the same instance, they're not necessarily essential for nutrition for a vegan diet. So to each his own. It just depends on how fancy you want to get. Number 3. Veganism is always healthy. So the myth behind that is that all vegans are automatically healthier. Well, honestly, it really just depends on what you eat. The fact is that while a whole food vegan diet can be very healthy, eating processed vegan foods are not. So if you're eating vegan junk food, because yes, that does exist, then that can lead to poor nutrition. So just a good balance of variety is key to a healthy vegan lifestyle. Number 4. Vegans lack energy and strength. So the myth behind that is you can't perform well in sports or build muscle without animal products. This is where I would like to invite you to watch The Game Changers. That would be a great film for you guys. But yeah, anyway, so the fact behind that is that many vegan athletes thrive, from runners to bodybuilders. Plant-based protein and carbohydrates provide significant energy to help build muscle when consumed in the right quantities. That's why I say to watch The Game Changers, because they really go into detail and they talk about that, and it's actually a good film to watch. Number 5. Being vegan means eating boring food. Boring food. That's crazy. Wow, boring food. Anyways, so the myth behind that is that vegan diets are restrictive and they lack variety. Now, before I get into the fact of this, I would like to say that it all just depends on your own personal diet. If you struggle with allergies like me, then yeah, you are limited. But if you don't, then you're not really that limited. And I will say over the years, veganism and just vegan foods in general have gotten a lot more diverse, and people are being very creative with their foods. So you just got to find the right ones. But let's get to the facts. The fact behind that is that vegan cuisine is incredibly diverse, like I just said, including everything from hearty curries to creative desserts. Hello, Apple's Paradise. You can replicate many traditional dishes with plant-based ingredients. Cashew cream is definitely one, instead of like a dairy cream. Speaking of cashew cream, I do have a video on that, so be sure to check that out. I'll link it in the description below. Number 6, vegans can't get enough calcium or iron. So the myth behind that is that dairy is the only reliable source of calcium and red meat is necessary for iron. Okay, that's interesting. Fact: calcium is found in fortified milks. So the fact is that calcium can be found in fortified plant milks, tofu, leafy greens, and almonds. Iron is present in lentils, chickpeas, spinach, and pairing it with vitamin C can help to absorb it better in your system. Just letting you know. Number 7, being vegan is too hard or inconvenient. So the myth behind that is it's impossible to eat out or find vegan options. Now, I don't know where y'all going, but there's actually quite a bit of vegan places, or at least people that have vegan options. Like it's a new wave, child. San Diego has a great bunch. Los Angeles has even more than San Diego. Vegas is like a vegan hub. It's a new wave. I've heard of places like Chicago, New York. I think there's some places in Florida, Atlanta. Like, you know, there's places, they're there. You just gotta check. So let's get to the facts. So more restaurants are offering vegan options, and many grocery stores are also being stocked with plant-based alternatives. So with a little bit of planning, eating vegan will just become second nature. Number 8, veganism is just a trend. Well, I mean, I would say that it's trending upward, but I don't think it's just a trend. You know, it's not like just a fashion that's just going to fall out of style. Anyways, let's get to the myth here. So the myth behind that is that veganism is a passing fad driven by social media. Okay. Fact is that while social media has helped raise awareness, veganism is rooted in ethical, environmental, and health concerns. It's a lifestyle choice with a growing community worldwide. And I definitely agree. There's different reasons of why people are vegan. Some are vegan for health purposes, like me. There's other people that are vegan for the environment. And it just goes all over. So, I mean, just to say that it's a trend, it's like, well, I don't know about you, but my lifestyle does not just trend like that. Like I literally take time of what I incorporate into my own lifestyle. So I don't know, maybe that's just me. Moving on. So number 9 is you can't get B12 from a vegan diet. Okay, there's a little bit of truth in that, but let's read the myth and follow it by with a fact. So the myth is that there's only animal products that provide vitamin B12. Okay, well, the fact is that while B12 isn't actually found in plant foods, vegans can easily get it through fortified foods. So like plant milk or nutritional yeast or supplements. And I will say that yes to the supplements because I was taking a B12 supplement when I first went vegan, but then I found out that I had way too much in my system, so I slowed that down. But yeah, it's not hard to get supplements for what you're lacking with animal products. All right, so number 10. All right, y'all, this one's very funny. Okay, so number 10 is that all vegans are the same and judgmental. Okay, so the myth is that all vegans follow the same rules and are critical of others who don't. Now, I know that there are some very, very pushy people out there, and I know that there are pushy vegans out there. But honestly, me personally, I don't think that you would know that I was vegan unless it got to us talking about food. I'm not the type where I'm just gonna just shout out to the world, hey, I'm vegan, better respect it. Like, I don't got that kind of time. Like the only time I actually mention the fact that I'm vegan is if someone's like offering me food or they're trying to get me something or whatever, and then I kind of have to go into like, oh, no thank you or whatever. Like I always start off with like no thank you, but if they push it, then that's when I let them know and then they stop. But other than that, I'm not about to be like, and I don't judge when people eat their foods. Like, eat your meat, eat whatever you want. I don't care. Like, it does not bother me because it's not what I'm putting into my system. So why should it matter what you put into your system? And I feel like that's probably where people run into that problem. Anyways, I digress. So let's get to the fact. The fact is that veganism looks different for everyone, like I was mentioning. So many vegans are compassionate and they're non-judgmental. Me. So everyone's journey towards plant-based living is unique. So whether you can handle this or that or whatever, like for example, with me being vegan, I prefer not to have meat-like alternatives. I mean, I'll eat certain vegan sausages or whatever from at a restaurant maybe or whatever, but I don't cook it myself. I actually like to have mushrooms or vegetables or whatever, just with the flavor. It's the flavor and the texture. I actually prefer like a mushroom or a jackfruit or any other type of vegetable or something. I don't necessarily need like an actual like sausage, like a Beyond or Impossible or whatever. Now, nothing against those companies or anything, because I know that some people do miss that texture and that's like getting the best of both worlds. It's just that's not my thing. So yeah, that's the uniqueness about it. You can do whatever you like. Okay. So yeah, these myths, they often reflect a misunderstanding, and just educating yourself and allowing more exposure to the vegan lifestyle can help dispel them over time. All right, y'all. So what do you think of my list? Did you hear anything familiar? Did you learn something new? And are there any myths that you've heard of that were not mentioned on this list? Comment below to let me know your thoughts. Now, I hope you found this video to be both entertaining and informative, because knowledge is power, and I'm a firm believer in the more you know, the more you grow. So next time the topic of veganism is mentioned around you, I hope that you can respond with knowledge and not ignorance. Have a great one, y'all. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to check out my other videos. Matter of fact, binge watch all my videos. I'm sure you'll find something worth your while. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.